Good morning on this cold and wintry Monday morning. Yeah, trying to shut the door there. Don't need to let the heat out, do I? Yeah, I'm standing outside even though it is only 24 degrees out because yesterday I noticed when I did my video, my dogs, when they started barking, you could hardly hear me. So there is people that are going up and down the street, kids and things like that, and so they've been barking off and on most of the morning. But today we are actually on our way out. It's only about 8 o'clock in the morning right now, and we have a doctor's appointment, just checkups. But it's kind of funny because we did not plan this. His is at 8:50 and mine's at 9:10. Same doctor, but we did not plan it this way. So usually, I just get my appointments when I go in for the following time I'm going to need to go back, and he does the same thing, and we didn't even realize we had coordinated it together. But anyways, I'll talk to you later on today, and I hope that wherever you are warm, and I will see you in a little bit. My husband and I just got back, and it is almost 12:30. I've been having, I don't know if I mentioned this or not, about my finger is really swollen and I can't get this ring off, and it's been like 5 weeks. And so he was really concerned when he heard about that, and so he had me go next door to the imaging center to get an x-ray. Well, we kind of waited around there for 45 minutes before they called me back, and so I got an x-ray. So, hey, I don't think it's broken, but when he heard how much it's swollen and how it hurts for me to bend it, and then it wants to like pop when I go to open my finger, sometimes he thought, no, we need to get this checked out. So, hey, who would have known, right? But I don't know if you can see behind me or not, but it is really snowing. I mean, just in the last 10 minutes, it just really started coming down. It is so pretty. But yeah, I will show you that in a little while because it is so beautiful. But I am going to go and do a few things around the house. I still have dishes in the sink. So yeah, there's a few things that got neglected when you got to walk out the door at 8 in the morning. Anyways, I'll talk to you after a while. Wow, it's really snowing now. I don't know if you're going to see that coming down, but it is really, really snowing a lot. I am going to need to go and listen to the weather. See just how much we're supposed to get. Do you see all this snow? I just had to come out. It's just pretty. I couldn't resist. Do you remember how earlier I said that I had dishes in the sink and I needed to get my house cleaned up? Well, it didn't quite work out that way. And this is what I've been doing instead. Oh, better move my towel there. I have been working on my cards. And I have started to sort them into piles of candles, cards that have words like I love you or blessings from above or thinking of you, and just flowers, to woodland creatures. That's through them, to dogs. And of course, my own girls. This is the one here that I was working on the last time I showed you these cards. I was working on this one, and I just finished this one today. So that was a different way to do Mindy. I don't know if I like it better. Maybe you guys can tell me between this Mindy and that Mindy, which one you think is nicer. Because I just don't know. But anyways, that is what I have been doing. And I want to take 3 to 5 cards per group. So whether it be my girls, like maybe 3 to 5 candles, the ones that have candles in it, maybe 3 to 5 that have the woodland creatures, because I have chipmunks and squirrels and even a little mouse and a rabbit one, and then ones that are just flowers. I just want to take like 3 to 5 of each one of those groups up the Staples and get prints made of them so that I can start to sell them. Anyways, I just thought I'd show you what I've been up to. So yeah, it's getting later here. My husband's probably going to get up here in less than 2 hours. So I really do need to at least do the dishes in the sink. So I'll talk to you later. Good evening, everyone. I trust that everyone had a very nice day. And I had a very nice afternoon. And yes, I did finally get those dishes done in the sink, so what can I say? I just was finishing up those cards, and the afternoon it was spent before I realized it. But anyways, I wanted to read to you from Mark 12, verses 28 to 31. Again, I will be reading out of the New King James Version. Then one of the scribes came, and having heard them reasoning together, perceiving that he had answered them well, asked him, "Which is the first commandment of all?" Jesus answered him, "The first of all the commandments is, Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one. And you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind, and with all your strength. This is the first commandment, and the second is like it. You shall love your neighbor as yourself. There is no other commandment greater than these." When Jesus commands us to love the Lord with all our heart, soul, mind, and strength, there's a little word that challenges us. And the word is all. What does it mean to invest all our emotional energy into loving God? How do we invest all our thinking into loving God? And how are we to love God with all our strength? I do love God, but I also know myself. And when I really think about what it means to love God with everything within me, I have to admit there is something that hesitates. This is something that you also need to think about. Because if we're honest, which we have to be when asking these questions, you also will probably find yourself hesitating. Because the word all encompasses everything. This commandment has a way of exposing our deep desire for control. We love God, but we also love the feeling of being in the driver's seat. And we don't want to hand the keys of our life over. In our sense of helplessness to love God fully, each of us need to remember the one who spoke these words. What helps is that Jesus not only spoke these words, but he lived these words. We may not have it in us to love this way, but Jesus did. He went to the cross for you and for me. And the starting point on this journey of love is with Jesus. And he gives us the ability to love God with all of our heart, with all of our soul, with all of our mind, and with all of our strength. What a Savior! Verse 30 tells us to love God with all our heart. Here, the heart refers not to the physical organ, but to the center of a person's will and emotion, their spiritual core. Our heart should not be divided between competing interests. Our love shouldn't be half-hearted. Our devotion should be sincere and complete. And that same verse tells us to love God with all our soul. The soul is the eternal essence which distinguished from the body. It's what is distinguished between the body. But it is also the breath of life that God invigorates in our body. To love with the soul is to love with our life. Then we are told to love God with all our mind. The mind is our thinking, it's our understanding. Our thoughts should be directed to God above all other things. And our love for him should not be blind, but it is to be based on reason. And last, we are told to love God with all our strength. Our strength is our ability. It is the force we exert to accomplish a task. It is a physical complement to the non-physical qualities of heart, soul, and mind. Charles Spurgeon summed up the commandment in this way: we are to love God supremely above all other loves, heartily, with all our soul, that is, with our whole life, with all our mind, prizing our belief in God, and by our activity, with the things we do. So with that, I want to remind you, life happens. Let's enjoy it. And I am going to read a quote from Elizabeth Elliot. She says, God wanted us to choose to love him. Our freedom to choose, that would have been meaningless if we had not also been free to not love him. The freedom to obey depends on the freedom to disobey. Quite a thought. Good night, and God bless.